Wow. I have a hard time with helmet cams. But okay, so as you see, this is the take-up box for the darts. What I do is I glue two darts to two sides. There is a trick to this to make this work. Okay, so what I do, I start out with my X foam, which is double which is double step in length, which is full length dart size. Okay, I take my X heads, which I have about 400 sitting over there, and I take Loctite glue, go-to glue, and I put a bead as so. Now that's an uneven bead, but that's just at the moment, because I take this and I put it like so, and I slowly look at the bead and twist it in as so, and boom. And I make sure I have a nice consistent bead on my first bond. You guys see that? You can see all the air being pushed out. Now I take the outside of that, I wipe it with this. Oh yeah, that's still an injury right there. And I take the excess glue and I put it on the other side, as so. Now the second side's a little different. Do the same thing. You take your X-dart head, you put it in as so. Okay. You take this side, you pinch it, but you pinch it to that point. You don't pinch more or less as you're doing this. And you spin it around. It takes a little practice because if you do it wrong, you'll blow your head right out, or you'll blow air through here while you're doing it. Not fun. And I sit here and I twist it, and then I release the air, and I have a vacuum between these two as they're drying. Now that's as it's drying. That's as it's drying all night. I picked a particularly slow set silicone glue that what it does is it allows the inside of these to level overnight, so that I have enough working time to work on, I'd say 150, maybe 400, 500 darts, and I don't have to worry about on the inside these drying. It's not a solvent-based glue. It's actually it's actually a new kind of tacky glue. If you want to know the truth, it's like a general purpose glue you get at Home Depot for about $5 about a bottle there. And I will tell you, it makes the most excellent bonds. Here is my own personal stash of X-darts. And as you can see, I don't need that many since I am a pistol shooter, not really a magazine shooter. And it's awesome. A few of them chaffed a little from usage, but there you are, see? Like so. So then after that, what I do is after this is dry on the outside, I cut them up, I cut them in half, I lay them flat, and I let the inside of them dry, so that on the inside it's perfectly level. So when these fly at long distances, they don't wobble or out of balance or anything. Okay? They really do. The system really works well, because what it is it's like a guy all night sitting on each one of these going like that. I'll show you. I'll show you with a dart head. It's like somebody sitting there all night. My technique, because I have a vacuum, which is putting maybe a pound or two of force on them at all time, pushing on them, going just pushing on them all night, and getting every little bit of air out between the foam and the head, and making sure that the bond between the head and the foam is a perfect set. That's gonna have like 100 pieces right there when I'm done. You have to forgive me. That's one of my favorite movies right now. It's called Escape from Tomorrow, and it's actually a pretty good film. It's a good film noir film, like Chinatown or Mulholland Drive or you know or Lost Highway. But yeah, but back to this. If, for example, let me show you something. If, for example, I'm working on it and for some reason I do that, okay, you want to reapply a glue joint as so, and then just like you did before, just take it and bond as so. If it's side two, also apply a pinch, and then just take your glue. Okay, you can see that side because the glue was saturated into the foam. There was no excess air from the foam. if the video ends up being sharp enough. But I have a shitty camera, I don't know. And then you just take this, take that same side, and there you go. There you go. This method with this glue, you have about 4 hours to do your darts before you put them down. The outside of them will be drying. The inside of them will not be drying because they're not hitting air. But there's still a little bit of drying that goes on because there is some air in here. So that means that you have a certain amount of time that you can do darts. So don't try to do like 5,000 darts or to fill this whole box. Take like all day or walk back and forth to it, because some of them you will have uneven levels of glue inside the darts behind the heads if you do that. And if you have a high-speed application like I do, where I've got pistols that are doing in excess of 250 feet per second, that will be noticeable. It may not kill me in a war, but I'll notice it. The way I do it, I end up with a perfect bond, perfectly level glue, no air between the joints. Now, this is not the official Xplorer way of doing it. The official Xplorer way of doing it is a good method as well. It's just not the one I picked. The way he does it is he takes his foam, he puts it in a jig that pre-cuts him with an X-Acto knife. Then he'll take his head, he'll take a pair of pliers, and he'll put him in a big jar of glue, and he'll put him on there. And he'll put this on here, and he'll set it on a rack, and then he'll do another one. Now, with this method, I don't have to worry about this getting wanky or cross-eyed. So my heads of my darts are like perfect bullets. And I also don't have to worry about position, left, right, or up and down, because the dart peg, which is shorter for a more forward center of gravity, and the foam are perfectly sized to fit together, like so. So this is an excellent dart system. This is my favorite dart system. I've seen all sorts of darts in my day, and I will tell you, this is my favorite. It's the most practical. It's the most efficient. Sure, it's from Singapore. Sure, it takes me 4 weeks to get some foam and some heads from start to finish if I'm in the United States. But if you just think ahead, order ahead, it's worth it. It's every bit worth it. And these will also be available from me for $34 for 100. With shipping anywhere in the United States, that ends up being about $37. And there you go. I want to thank you all for your time and your patience. And have a good day.